Hello, Apps here from Dimp Digital. Welcome back to the Game Club. On this edition, I am joined by Tom Adkins, not Adcock, and we discuss a few games. This is actually I've just hit the fucking desk there. We actually discuss a manner of games. This is the second part of a one long recording you may have remembered from a couple of weeks back where we discussed Gears 5. We then rolled straight into this recording and we didn't break, so this is a bit of an edit, but the podcast would have been, nearly 3 hours long if we'd kept it all together. So we split it up and you're going to get impressions of Borderlands, Astral Chain, Hitman 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and a few other bits of chat that we chuck in for free. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Right. We've got a few other little games here to get through.
Yeah, get that book club open.
So these aren't completed games. These are games that we've started and just played either a handful of hours or just a little bit, just to get out some what they call impressions for old Game Club. Yep. Let's start things off with Borderlands 3.
Yep.
So
the newest block.
The new kid on the block. You've played through almost the entire series in the last 12 months. I have
fucking burnt myself out, to be honest. I was quite glad we did this tonight so I could have a night off. Because the last it's got to be over a month, I think, for pretty much most nights during the week. So I'm not out. I'm indoors playing multiplayer Borderlands.
And by that you mean the co-oping through the...
Co-oping through, yeah, with two of my other pals that I play with. So yeah,
that's where he's been in sabbatical. Everyone, he left Dimp to go to these other gunners. And we've been left in the dust.
Freelancer, they call me. So yeah, so I don't know when it was I started. I'll be able to tell you actually. It was when it became on PS4. So from June, yeah, it was fucking hell. It was literally just after E3, beginning of my sabbatical. Yeah. That's where I started it. So from June, so I've gone through all the two completed till end credits, then pre-sequel to end credits, then through Tales of the Borderlands game to end credits, and then I went back and done all including the new DLC.
Yeah.
The 5 DLCs. I think is it 5? Yeah, 5 DLCs in Borderlands 2. And then, last Friday, I got Borderlands 3, and I've stuck, I don't know how many hours I have. I think I've probably put about 10 to 15 in so far. Crikey. I'm about level 19 at the minute. And I'm not, it's a huge game. I think there's, I don't know, I won't say how many chapters in case people find that a spoiler, but I'm not even halfway through yet.
Right.
So, I've been playing pretty much every night. Wednesday, I got it Friday. I stayed up till 3:30 in the morning Friday.
Co-op, or do those co-op flake off? Bloody hell!
One flaked off. Yeah, me and Dan stayed up till 3:30. The following Saturday night was 2:30 in the morning. That was Gears Saturday. Sorry, that was a Gears 2:30. I was just basically saying I've had a long weekend, and then it was on it Sunday night, and had a big old session last night. Got off about midnight.
Kick the snot out of Borderlands 3 then, so far.
I really have. So first off the bat, it is a fucking pig in the technical department.
So we go from Gears 4, which we've spoken about previously, about the Dreamboat.
The absolute gorgeous Dreamboat. Now, you get 2 modes on this, which I'm playing this on the PS4 Pro. So you have a frame rate and a resolution mode. So resolution mode is supposed to be 4K. It's 1800p, as DF confirmed. But that runs at 30. Well, that does not run at 30 on the PS4 Pro. That runs at 20. And that is almost locked 20. It's fucking...
Really?
Oh, it's horrendous. It is so bad. It is I don't know how this has got past Q&A and gone, yep, send that out. It is fucking horrendous. And then on the performance mode, which I've been preferring, it is a 60, but it's not always. when you're running around the world, it's 60, but the second gunfire kicks off, you're going into the 50s. It's about 50. And yeah, it's a real pig, and it's an annoyance. And there's so much lag in the menus when you are playing multiplayer. It's not so bad when you sit on your own, but when you're playing with ours, you're constantly going into your menus to change your weapons and look at all your skills and stuff. And yeah, it's just the laggiest shit ever. So it is in dire straits, to be fair. It's real bad in the terms of technical thing for this, which is not a good.
No, I mean one of the basically when the game launched, there was only maybe 10 or 15 outlets that had review code, and the rumour has it that they try to restrict the code. This could be all bullshit. It's all fucking factory.
I've heard this as well.
That they wanted it to basically be the PC version that was reviewed on the first week, so the kind of first week at least was decent Metacritic, because maybe they knew there was performance issues, and this is for the Xbox One X as well, because I've seen the Digital Foundry talking about how the framiness is still a problem on Xbox One X as well. So it's not just a PS. So if you're on console and you've got one of those powerhouses, there's not I'm not going to say decent, but there's not a pure way to play it without any sort of compromise.
No.
So the rumour was that they gave out code only for those outlets that were doing PC. In hope that the score would be higher. I mean, there's been a few more outlets come in later, and it seems like it's generally still performing pretty well, sitting on an open critic of 85, which is nothing to sniff at. But I wonder if they knew all along that it weren't up to it in terms of consoles, and thought, keep that under our hats in case we get a shitter out the gate.
Yeah, I didn't play Borderlands 2 when it first came out, but I've been told that this is a similar sort of situation to when that came out. That came out with a bit of a pig, apparently. But yeah, I also heard I was watching some kind of funny videos yesterday, and they said that when they received their code, it was a PC on that Epic Game Store, but they couldn't use their own login. You had to use a Gearbox login to have it register on there, so they couldn't carry over their save, and even they were like, it's the weirdest review process they've ever had to deal with. And yeah, I think it is just such a they're just trying to cover their asses because they know how poor state the game was in.
Yeah, have you noticed, because I know you normally have your consoles on auto update, do you know if there's been any patches?
There hasn't been a single one yet so far. Right. I haven't turned it on tonight, but that's what I'm waiting for now. That's what I sort of thought, well, it's not game breaking, you can still carry on, but it's there and it's noticeable, so it's a fucking irritance, and it's just that the menus are the worst part there. It's just so laggy.
Yeah. How's Mr. Clark handling this? Because he's Master Race. He's used to dead smooth 60 FPS Master Race. It blew up, didn't it? So it might not be.
So I think he's really struggling, because up until almost a week before launch, he was like, I think I'm just going to get it on PC.
Was you like, no?
Well, we've just gone through the 3 game or the 2 games co-op. It'd be sad to lose you. So me and my friend Matt, we convinced him to get it on PS4, and then now he's been lumbered with
served up. Is he on PS4 Pro? Or is he on base PS4?
No, he's on PS4 Pro. All 3 of us are.
Cool.
But yeah. So we've all got this lumbered. I've not seen any stats from the original PS4, but maybe they might be better because they're at 1080p. But I doubt it.
Potentially.
They're all still pigging, but yeah. Well, we've been promised crossplay as well. So if that chucks it down the line, it'll be even more livid. If they go,
right.
Now,
so you could have got it on PC potentially.
Yeah, they've said it's definitely coming, just won't be available at launch. So,
what an odd blower, but sometimes it happens. But I wasn't expecting it to be quite as widespread as it was.
Nah.
At least you're not losing progress.
No, that's the thing. Yeah. Bar that, I thought I'd get the shit bits out. The first bit. The only other poorness is some of the voice acting. They've obviously changed Claptrap, and it's quite notable that you listen out for it. You sort of are trying to get it in my head. You think, right, it's new. It'll sound the same, but he doesn't. Just like the way he says things and stuff. I'm like, that's not how Claptrap says it.
Is that Claptrap though? Is he a single Claptrap in the universe that you always bump into, or is it just or is it another version of Claptrap?
No, this one is supposed to be the one that's been through all the games.
Oh, bollocks.
But there are multiple Claptraps in the universe. But no, this is supposed to be.
He had a voice module put in maybe between 2 and this one, like a new voice module. It
probably would have worked if they'd have just stuck that into it.
Just as a little joke. And said, you've got a new voice Claptrap. And he's like,
yeah. But taking away the shit bits, so pretty much that's the only poor things so far. You still get a lot of the texture loadings, which you got in some of the old games. But on the plus side, it's just one of those games that's really, I don't know, it's just all I'm thinking about at the minute. I want to get back to other games I'm playing, but balls are sort of taken over at the minute, and it's just the subtle changes that they've made that have really enhanced it. I think just I know it's quite funny, but just being able to slide and mantle, it really is a bit of a game changer in the way you sort of move about the environment and sort of slide into action and stuff. You feel more of a badass.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've played through 1 and 2. And
so there you go. You're ready for it. You're not missing much in pre-sequel, to be honest.
No, I mean, I just struggled. One of the main problem I had, and it's a problem I have with shooters that do this or any co-op game, is just trying to follow the narrative when one, or even if you've got 2, or even God forbid 3 others all bad. It's the same thing with Destiny. You can't follow it, and some of the stuff in Borderlands is obviously a lot of humour there. Yeah, and you kind of end up missing it because I weren't paying attention, or I was making my own humour in the chat, thinking I was funny.
Yeah,
that kind of struggles to keep me hooked because I think I don't know what I'm playing with now. Who are these fuckers?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So much so that I think a lot of 2 and pre-sequel, after our sessions, I'd sometimes go onto YouTube and just watch the cutscenes that I've missed and try to listen to a bit more of the lore. Yeah. So I sort of like played it. I played the game and then watched the game just to sort of try and keep up to the story, because you really don't. And especially the way it's aligned, you're sort of getting these conversations whilst your fucking gun's being shot, fucking launchers going off. You got your mate talking to you, telling you what's going on.
Yeah,
you're right.
The worst candidate for that, I remember, was like the original Titanfall. They had that campaign. Do you remember that online campaign? Yeah. You couldn't follow that. It was mayhem. You had people fucking screaming in the lobby or in the chat, and there was a little voice box on the top right going, I don't even know what's going on now. This is all just unfolding. There's got to be a better way of doing it, but we'll see. So it's there's a couple of positives and a couple of negatives.
Yeah,
you're gonna see it through by the sound.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I'm still sticking with it. One thing I would say as well with this is it definitely feels, with the new characters and their new sort of abilities, and like each ability, you have like a single what they call action skill in the older games. Well, this time you get like multiple trees that you can choose from, and you can have multiple ones equipped at the same time. Yeah. So therefore, with this, you can equip a character so it's more accessible for playing a solo. So when I was playing 2 solo, there was a few times where I'd only just be about enough level to get through the mission. And once you got to a room that was full of sort of mobs, you'd easily get put down. You got no one to get you back up again. So with this one, you can sort of equip your character to be more of a sort of healing character. And in this game as well, you also get NPCs that can revive you. So you're not really on your own. It's quite.
So you're in a party all the time, or are they just random?
It's
NPCs
sort of just like random NPCs. The character I'm playing is called the Beastmaster, and he has you have like a little beast with you, so you can have a skag or something, and they pick you up. But you'll go through missions where it'll be like go and meet a character, and then that character will run through the mission with you, and then they can pick you up and stuff.
That's quite handy.
So it's definitely more accessible if you're sitting there thinking, well, it's more of a co-op game, but I don't really have any friends, or I don't want to play with them. You could go through this on your own, but it's a fucking beast if you want to trudge through this. If, like I say, if you're not really into the sort of formula, it could be a stinker. But no, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I think the story's quite good. Characters aren't as good as yet as we've got
still time,
and there's still time. You've got these antagonists, the new Calypso twins. That are like sirens that are sort of trying to take over all the vault keys and stuff. So Handsome Jack is officially dead.
He's wiped out.
So there's no Handsome Jack anymore, which I know a lot of people they really rated him and see him as a good character. But the new characters, they're all right, but they're not as warm. I'm not as warming to them as some of the old ones. But it's all about this new gunplay. Really, it just feels more. There's more sort of weight to shots, and there's over 1 billion guns or something. So every time I get a new gun, it's ridiculous. Some of the stuff they do. I've got ones that like has legs and it runs after people. One that turns into like a chainsaw. There's ridiculous amounts of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a looter shooter. Schluter, yeah. A lot of collectibles and an easy platinum by the looks of it, so it's got my fucking girth going. By saying it, easy platinum. It's an easy one to do.
It's 100-hour platinum.
It might not be 100, but it's going to be up there about 60 to 80, I reckon.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't bear it. But there you go. Borderlands 3 impressions, and maybe a full review coming later on.
Or just buy it for Mad Moxie's Wabbers as well, I would.
Oh dear. I've been playing through one of your favourite genres. Hitman 2, stealth brilliance.
Baby. Last one I played was Absolution, that's the one. And I was shit at it. I didn't mind it. I don't think they're my sort of games, but I can appreciate them because my favourite game ever is part of the old stealth genre. But they've never really resonated with me, especially the earlier ones that were like PC games almost, weren't they?
Yeah, I think the very first one's like almost unplayable now.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's meant to be really fucking hard. Whereas I think Hitman 2 was the breakout one, made it a bit more playable. Oh, that's the first one I remember playing. Anyway. Right.
So, is this? Are they stuck with their episodes?
No. So with the rebooted Hitman, it was episodic, and I committed early and had the episode. They came every sort of 6 to 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Hitman 2, once you purchase it, you get the full game, and all the episodes, all the levels are there from day one. So no more waiting around. And another cool thing is, if you own the original Hitman series, you can download a pack for free, and it will install the original Hitman levels onto Hitman 2. Oh, so nice. you can go back and replay Hitman, reboot, in the new with the new features enabled. So things like people can see you in mirrors now. So if you're sneaking up behind them and they're getting their hair ready, they'll see you. So if you play through the Hitman 1 levels in Hitman 2, it have those new mechanics in there and new weapons and stuff. So for those that have committed to it, it's a great little package that you can just install that and go through that stuff again. Then you've kind of got one place again to play sort of the Hitman universe.
That's pretty good. And is it open, not sort of open world, but the levels are one big open world, aren't they, each?
Each location is, and I've done 2 missions. One's sort of like a tutorial mission, and the first location's at a racetrack. So there's a race going on, and you've got to eliminate 2 targets, and one of the targets is actually in the race themselves. That gives you some really unique opportunities to take them out, either on the track or after they finished, which is cool. But yeah, each of the environments are open. There's obviously areas that you can and can't go, but if you get the right disguise, or if you sneak in through a certain door, you can then walk around in those areas. And it's another sort of almost like a sandboxy type thing. You can figure out your own way to kill them, or there's like little, they're called mission stories, I think, where you can track a certain way of taking out the enemy, and it will kind of give you waypoints. So that's really helpful if you want to do something interesting, and it will give you some hints on how to do it. So you're not left completely in the dark. But all the hardcore players, I think, just try and figure out themselves. But I'm like, no, I like the guidance of knowing how to take these people out. So that's always good, and something that's been retained and brought over from the sort of the reboot. But yeah, enjoying Hitman 2.
Do you need to play 1 to get what's going on in the story, or?
To be honest, the story is one of the weakest aspects of it. It's more of, we give you these 7 locations, we give you the core story, so the core sort of targets. You can then replay those locations and kill them in different ways, or go through one of the other sort of mission stories and try a different way of taking out the enemies. But also you can download contracts that are unique to that level, and they put new enemies in there and swap things about. So people generally replay it a lot. I mean, I replay the levels probably 2 times to get a feel and try some different approaches. But the story, I mean, you can get away with not playing it because it will update you on what's happened. It's a little short video, but there's nothing hard hitting there. We're not talking, the Last of Us levels of storytelling.
No,
it's more of just it's more of like a game in that sense. There is an underlying narrative, but to be honest, because the first one was episodic, I completely lost track of what was going on. But you can start 2 and not worry too much. It'll tell you what's been going on and why 2's happening, which is handy.
That's quite good. How are we looking on the technical front? Because I remember that new one being that got like a 4K patch. I'm thinking, cool, that does look gorgeous.
It does look bloody nice. And it runs pretty well. I'd say it's not a solid sort of 60 on there, but it runs quite close. But it was a bit like Borderlands, where it will drop down now and again.
Right. Yeah.
Great looking game. The environments look stunning, and it's. I've always enjoyed the Hitman games, and I think I like this now version of it the best. Like the reboot Hitman 2. Yeah, and I think what they're planning to do is eventually do Hitman 3, and it will have overall there'll be like 21 locations across the 3 games. And then they're going to use that as a platform to sort of just build off, where they can add new contracts in. They do those elusive targets that happen once every few weeks that you get one shot to take out. There's loads of online interactivity that, if you like the core gameplay and want to be challenged, there's loads of stuff you can download and add to it. So it's sort of almost like there's endless content there for people. Whereas I normally just play through the main story bits and dabble now and again. There's a shitload in this. It's such a good package for what it is, and you'll be rewarded if you've got the access to the first one, because you can play through all those and add them in with the new gameplay elements.
Cool. Get him signed up.
Yeah, it's Hitman 2 is impressive. I wasn't really expecting. I sort of expected to put it on and then think I'll just do 1 level a week or whatever and just chip away. But then after the first one, I was like, I want to play this again already. So it might become sort of the main game, and I might relegate Kingdom Come down to the sort of chip away game, which we'll speak about in a bit. Yeah.
No,
interesting. But yeah, Hitman 2. If you like the first one, no excuse not to get this one.
Go and get it. What did you up to for?
PS4 got it on. I think I may well have got the season pass as well. I don't know I can't remember what I signed up for now. But there's a shitload of stuff to do on it, which is good.
Is that sniper stuff still going on as well? I remember the Airways did that. Like a sniper
you can still put this. Yeah, you can still put the sniper in the briefcase and carry it around, which is good. Because on that first level, like, you can start with a weapon if you want, but to get in the front gate, you get frisked. So you can't walk in with it because they'll frisk you, and you'll be like, it starts kicking off. So you've got to think of a more strategic way to, if you want to take in a gun, to get it in. You can do that in various ways. And when you complete a level once, it will unlock new weapons to start with. It'll unlock new locations to start from, and it'll unlock new outfits to start from as well. So you can kind of go in from a different area completely, dressed up as someone different, to give yourself a little bit more of an advantage. So it kind of plays into replayability. It's
really good. The only thing really annoyed me with Hitman is because it was so sort of like hyper realistic, the way they sort of, you could get seen and they'd notice you looking a bit sort of suspicious and that.
Yeah.
And then when you put your disguise on, it just snaps, and you got your disguise on. I was like, oh, I want to see him putting his trousers on.
Oh yeah, no, it still does that. So there's no animation of him getting dressed or undressed. It's amazing how every costume fits him.
Yeah, that's
all
it.
Shoes fit him. He never has a problem slipping new shoes on, which I can't believe.
That would be brilliant. Him just walking around trying. Has anyone got a size 7? Yeah,
Very
but no,
indeed.
it's something I'd like to play, but I don't know. They've never really resonated with me, but they do look gorgeous. One day, maybe.
One day in the near future, you'll be playing old Astral Chain, which you have been playing. So I thought, I knew Border was on the horizon, but I assumed that once Astral Chain come out, that you'd get really stuck into that and be on it until completion.
Yep.
I don't know if that has been the case, but it's not completed. It's not clocked as far as I know.
No, it's not clocked. What happened was, Borders happened basically. Borderlands. So I got Astral Chain, and then because I didn't think we had like a bit of a gap with playing Borderlands pre-sequel, I think. We got about 3/4 of the way through, and then I was assigned, I was like, right, I'm not going to get this finished by the time 3 comes out, which was really annoying me. And then, Astral Chain came out on the Friday, and I think on the Monday, we all agreed to play through Borders. So that took part. So I was like, fuck's sake, right. So I played about 5 hours of Astral Chain, finished all the Borderlands, was like, right, I can go back to Astral Chain. And I was like, oh fuck, Gears comes out on Friday. So for fuck's sake. And then I've been finished Gears and like, right, Borderlands 3's out now. So poor old Astral Chain. And that's not taking anything, that's just me being an idiot and playing the newest thing that comes out. I've not binned Astral Chain. It's just that it's something that I can go back to. It's because it's its own thing. I wanted to get it done. I wanted to get the other games done, ready. And the Astral Chain just be the one I can pick up, and especially with it being on Switch, I've played a little bit in handheld. I was playing just sort of sat upstairs with the boy waiting for him to go to sleep. I was like, right, I can get a couple of hours in here. And it is fucking brilliant. It's quite a niche game in terms of, I don't think your average gamer would enjoy it. I don't think someone like Biff would enjoy this at all.
He always gets used as a reference point.
Yeah,
every video, every podcast, it's like, I don't think Biff would like this.
No, I use Biff as my standard sort of game. The gamer that's not into the sort of weird. Like I couldn't imagine Biff playing Nier. Could you?
No.
Or Bayonetta or something like that.
No.
So I think
he's a bit of a pervert.
Yeah, he's a bit of a pervert. So we might go for a bit of a Bayonetta, but there is no perving in this, unfortunately. Although you could perv over. So basically, it's very anime, this game, and very Platinum Games-esque. So it's basically like a cyber cop. You're like cops in this sort of futuristic city. And basically you have these demons that are trying to take over our planet, called this is the trouble with playing all these fucking multiple games. What are they fucking called? Legions? Chimera, that's it. These aliens called Chimera, who are trying to come from this other realm to take over our planet, and you're these cops, you're these police force that are like a task force that have these chimeras that are coming over. They've been trapped, but they can put chains on them and turn them into sort of useful. And you can sort of warp their mind to make them work for you, and they're called legions.
Right.
So you are you're fighting these chimeras with your legion, and you control these simultaneously. So you have what's called this astral chain, which is literally a chain that's mounted to your wrist to this being, this chimera. And you use that in terms of combat and puzzles, and God knows, it's just part of the game. It sounds fucking mental to think, right, so I'm controlling 2 things at once.
Yeah. So I read that you can control the Legion with the right stick, like its movement, whilst you still obviously got control of your main character.
Yeah, it is bizarre at first. You sort of watch it thinking, how the fuck am I going to do that? But once it starts off, it is controlled on its own. So, like, all you do, you pretty much just control its movement, and then it will just attack the enemies on its own. But you can then do other stuff with it. You can do like special moves with it by pressing a button, and then you start to learn how to like do, they call synergy moves, I think, where you do like a combo and then you introduce that and that kicks out. And after you get the hang of it a little while, it takes a good hour to sort of get your head around it. But once you do, you can really pull off some really fun combos and stuff. And yeah, it really has that sort of that Platinum game sort of combat feel. It feels very much like a sort of Bayonetta type or an Nier Automata that style. But yeah, this game is anime as fuck.
What, in terms of like the story?
In terms of the story, in terms of how it looks, it has that sort of anime cell shading type thing. The characters, the way they look, like,
that's what's kind of put me off a little bit, I think.
You do really have to be into anime, I think, to sort of really get the full vibe of this.
What are you doing?
Yeah, but I don't know, I think there's something in there for you. I think you would enjoy this. A very cool setting. It's that sort of cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic, neon crazy.
Yeah.
And I think the game's quite interesting because you're not just doing this combat. Because you're a cop, you're sort of broken down into like a detective mode as well. So so you're not just out in the field rinsing up combos and trying to get all these different ranks. It does sort of every now and again slow the pace down. You'll go into these small open environments and you can go off and do side quests and do a bit of detecting, and there's some collectibles here. So it could be a bit of a bloatville, but yeah, no, I'm really impressed so far. It's probably the best looking Switch game on there.
Lovely.
The only annoying thing is that it runs at 30, which is
it's unusual for
Platinum games. Yeah, every single game they've done's been at 60.
Even Bayonetta 2.
Even Bayonetta 2, that was on the trusty Wii U.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, especially for this sort of fast-paced action. But the last time I did play it did get fucking hard. I don't know if I've hit like a fucking wall or something, but yeah, these new sort of enemy types have come in, and having to, you have like these different, you get 5 different, or you can get 5 different legions, and they all do different things. You'll get like a melee one, an arrow one, a sword one, and they have all different moves you can do. But having to do that in the middle of getting attacked by these bastards, trying to fight them off, I really got snarled up. And then where I've got it on this mode, so you've got like a casual mode, and then you've got another mode which is it's not hard, but it says it's called the Platinum Normal. So it's how it should be played, but it's fucking hard. It's like this is how, because in the casual mode you don't get graded. So you just go through.
Dirty bastards.
People don't like that, but the Platinum Normal it's a bit harder enemies, but then you get graded. So I think I got like a D in my last one. I was like, for fuck's sake,
gone down the shitter.
That's the thing as well. I rinsed this boss, but I was just pressing the same move over and over and over again, and I killed it in about 2 minutes. I was like, oh, wicked! And then it gave me a D for that. It's because you have to sort of change your moves up and sort of use all of your arsenal to make it look better. Your sort of skills
won't take the cheese.
No, you can't just fucking hide behind a bush and cheese it up like I like to do. But no, I've got to say, it's all good things. I want to get back to it now. I've completed Gears. I've got that one out of the way. I can sort of meddle between.
Opens up a little single player, isn't it? A little slot for it. It's one of the better reviewed games of the year. Like on OpenCritic, I think it's 8th with an 87.
Cool.
Are you surprised at how high that is?
I am, to be honest. I didn't think it would be. I mean, it sort of came out of nowhere at E3. I remember thinking, like, fucking hell, oh, and it's even got a release date. It came out in August, and I remember thinking, blimey. And yeah, it really did pique my interest. But then, remember when they heard they were making a new Nier game, and I remember thinking, oh, that first one was nothing. No one even talks about that. So I didn't, and that done incredibly well. So I always did wonder, but I didn't think it would hit the heights that it has, to be fair. I was expecting a sort of 7, 75% maybe. But yeah,
very well. The critics,
yeah,
very well indeed. You've played a bit of Nier Automata as well.
Yeah, I've stuck about. I think I've done about 10 hours in that so far. That's another one I want to get back to.
Do you prefer Astral Chain over that, or do you prefer Nier Automata?
So far, I do prefer Astral Chain. Although I do like the perviness of what's it name? I've blown myself up a few times just for added benefit. But I'm only talking at the minute of in terms of story, because I don't really get what's going on in things. A bit convoluted at the minute. Near, but once I've finished it, I might have more of an idea. But
you will, boy.
Just in the terms of setting, I think Astral Chain has a more sort of approach. I don't know. I found Nier very grey and very dull.
Yeah, and it's there's a lot of almost like Gears. There's a lot of open world running around sections. There's an awful lot of that going on, which this grinds on some people.
That's right. Yeah, this is it's quite linear. You get open spaces, but the majority of it's quite linear.
It's an action game, isn't it? That's what you want. You want to be kept in the action. Like, you don't want to be running really halfway across the desert. Which one of the downfalls of Nier is that's quite a staple of the game.
Yeah,
is that especially the early parts of it, but. Yeah, it sounds. I'm struggling to get into these sort of action games.
Yeah,
I had a little. Obviously, I played Control and reviewed that. That's not in this vein. It's more of a combat action game. But even like earlier in the year, you reviewed Devil May Cry 5 for us, and that's now on Game Pass. There's no excuses. I'm just for some reason not quite pulling the trigger on these sort of out and out action combat games, and I can't put my finger on why I'm not.
No, I do think they are a sort of an acquired taste for some people. I have always been into that sort of hack and slash almost sort of thing. But no, I do think there's something for you, and I've got it on. I didn't buy it on digital, so I've got it in retail. So the second I'm done with it, you are very welcome to have a go, because I do think you would find something in this. I am interested for you to see what it's like. So.
Might shittle over it.
Yeah,
that's absolutely. Oh, I'll tell you what I would do. I'll lick the cartridge and just see if I can still coat him in that shit.
I didn't think Nier would resonate with you as much as it did, so that holds high.
I think the main thing that is I was promised the story. I didn't know what the story was, but everything I'd read was like the narrative is really good. It's interesting, and I thought, well. Let's go down that route, and I think that's the thing that with Astral Chain that's kind of kept me away, is that it just looks, like you said, anime and it's like I'm sure it's fine, it's serviceable, but I sometimes need that narrative hook to keep.
That's the thing, going. I think that this is more that this is not one of those ones. This is more of the combat overrides the story. So it'd be interesting.
I mean, I do. It feels like it needs to be done, because it seems like it's got some unique mechanics with the old Legion stuff. So. I'm interested in giving it a sniff, and hopefully it'll find some room at some point in 2019. My final game is Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Ooh, one that was on my radar. Looking very Witcher PC-esque, I thought.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's fucking rough as houses. It is.
Is it real?
That's one thing I will say about this. It is rough as absolute. It is rough as houses. I mean, there's what happened. I had it on I bought it on PC ages ago.
Yep.
I had it about a year, and I thought it came on Game Pass, and I was like, oh, I forgot I've got that. And I thought, you know what, I'll play it on PC because frames and whatnot.
Yep.
Booted it up. The opening logo and sort of intro video was all stuttery. I'm like, what's going on here? I thought I'll close it down, maybe it's a problem. I've done it again, stuttery again. I was like, okay, I'll ignore that. When I get in the game, I'm sure it was fine. Booted the game. Both times it reset my PC. I did it twice. It reset my PC both times. I closed everything down, reset it again. It just kept turning off my PC and turning it back on. I thought, this is why I'm not an enthusiast PC fucking master race, because I can't be dealing with this. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to download it on Game Pass and play it on that. And it's a technical, in some ways, a bit of a disaster in terms of it looks rough. It's like a throwback to Skyrim on PS3. You think about that used to run a bit like a pig. It's framey. There's things that pop in and out. It's all there, but there is a certain charm to it. a lot more of a simulator than you would expect.
Right, yeah, because that was one thing that stuck out to me was how realistic the game looked. And
yes, yeah, it's all first person.
Right.
So I don't think there's any way you can go third person. At least I've not found the button to do that. And yeah, you don't have to manage your. It's not like a survival game where you got to manage your hunger. There's always food about. You got to eat. Otherwise, your stats will decrease slightly.
Oh.
You'll be hungry, and like your stamina might go down quicker. So there's all ties into things like that. Like you can put on a comfortable set of boots, and it will give you a boost in like movement speed or things like that. So it's all very much about buffing your character and whatnot. You can level up. You play as a specific person, so you don't create your own character. You play as a guy called Henry. Voice acting is a bit hit and miss as well.
Yeah,
I'm not. I think Henry's a bit of a. It's just a bit of a goon. Like, I feel like I could have done a better job doing the voice acting on that. But
it's probably the old geezer that did Claptrap. They've gone, right, if he ain't got a job.
I've been kicked out of Gearbox, and now I'm going to show you how it's done. So you play as Henry, and like leveling up's quite unique in that you only level up items when you use them.
Oh,
so if you think about, you can level up your speech. You do that by talking to people. So the more you talk to people, the slower that will do. Lockpicking, you don't just get a stat that you add to lockpicking. The more you lockpick, the higher your rating will be for that, and the easier it'll be. Pickpocketing, the same thing. Same with combat. It's all about leveling up as you do things, which is reasonably interesting. I think what's going to keep me involved is going to be the story.
Right.
I find the combat quite clunky because it's all first person. It's always a bit of a howler, I always think. But some people say the combat's really good, so maybe I've just not quite got used to it. But you essentially, this little cursor will come up and it have like I think it's 5 lines, like one at the top, 2 either side, 2 lower side, and 1 in the middle. And that's where you can sort of aim your sword at that side of their body. So the key is to kind of like aim one side, then quickly slash the other side and try and get them, and whilst blocking and whatnot. And you've got to manage your stamina. It just got a little bit messy, but it's buggy. It's got some performance issues, but once you kind of get into the open world part of it, you can just sort of wander off and do whatever you want. No fantasy elements to this. There's no magic or anything like that. It's all like medieval.
Game of Thrones, no offense.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. Like, it's hard. It's very hard at times,
right?
Because you're first person and the mechanics don't feel like the combat I struggle with,
right?
But I found a way that I can now suffocate people from behind and like knock them out. So if I want to rob someone, that's a good way to do it. Rather than having to fight with them, I can just sneak up behind them, suffocate them, and then nick their stuff. So I've been doing that to try and make some bloody money because I'm absolute pauper at the moment. And then I accidentally stamped on someone's head and killed him. Do that. It's like to go and hide his body in the bushes. But I'm not completely sold on it yet. I know it's going to be a long game.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that if I just keep chipping away at it, the combat will click.
Yeah.
And I think the characters and the story will end up carrying it through. But it's a bit of a throwback to an old sort of Skyrim where you just wander off and you can find all interesting things. But you have things like you'll need to sleep probably once every 48 hours. You need to find a bed, and if you find a more comfortable bed, your stats will be boosted. So there's loads and loads of little tiny mechanics going on in the background that determine, you know, how your character is responded to in the world. Like even things like not washing will either decrease or increase your charisma stats depending on what perks you've got applied. And it's got more simulation aspects. I need to get used to the combat. It's technically a bit of a mess, but it's playable.
Is the story sort of do you have like options to sort of response and stuff, a bit like Witcher or?
Yeah, so far I've not made any. There's been no sort of decisions for me to make, but most quests you can tackle in a number of different ways.
Right, okay.
So you could, if you need to steal something, there's obviously multiple ways you could do that. You could pickpocket it from someone. You could wait till night time, sneak in, get out the crate, or do something like that. You can, in certain situations, you can talk your way out of it. So if you've got a high enough sort of speech stat, you can talk your way out of a situation rather than combat, or if you need to get in somewhere, you can disguise yourself and get in that way, or you can bulldoze your way in combat, or again you can diffuse it and try and sort of lie your way in.
Yeah.
So it's more around how you complete a specific task rather than you get to choose whether person A or person B dies or lives or anything like that. That might come later, but it feels like it's more around you've got this task to get given. Here's the waypoint. Once you get there, you figure out how you want to tackle it, or if you want to, you could just pay for something if you need to get it if you need to. So I think that's where the choice comes in, is actually how you tackle it. But it's aiming to be a realistic RPG set in like medieval Europe. So there's no weirdness going on. It's kind of a bit of a fresh breath of fresh air to play. I'm a little bit annoyed I didn't get Greedfall in the end.
Oh yeah, that was one that had the fantasy element, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was because it's a newer game. Obviously, there's a monetary outlay, and just that I'd already got Kingdom Comes. I thought I might as well play that, but I kind of there's part of me that wished I'd gone for Greedfall at the moment. But maybe this will click.
Yeah,
and
there's still
I'm looking to try and get it done. Yeah, it's still time, and I'm sure there's loads of mechanics that I haven't even touched upon yet that like you can't even fathom that's going on. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that change how people react to you and whatnot. And
Greedfall's got a real mixed bag. IGN gave it 8.2. GameStop gave it 5 out of 10.
It's crazy. It's sitting on like a 75 at the moment.
Which is, I've played 75 games, so you have enjoyment out of them.
Kingdom Come 72 technical issues hold it back. Yeah, I think that it's not for. I think it's one of those things where it's 100% not for everyone.
Yeah,
some people love it because it's this like simulated RPG where you've got all these bits and pieces you've got to consider, and others that want to play something like Skyrim, they might think, this looks like Skyrim. It doesn't really play like it at all. No. It's nowhere near as accessible. You need to really put the work in to learn the mechanics, and just rightly so, people can't be bothered to do that. But for those that want to put the work in, learn about how everything works, I think the payoff will be pretty good. And if I can get this combat down, I'm sure I'll report back with some more positive stuff. But it's a nice little game to chip away at and see where I get to and see what escapades I get up to.
Beautiful. Well, that's definitely one to keep out on. I've been like, I think I saw it when you bought it. I was like, he's got it on PC. I don't think my old fucking potato wouldn't be able to cope with that.
Oh, this thing can't, because it keeps fucking restarting. So
that is exactly why I left the fucking thing. I just want to pick up a game and play it. Who was it? Dunn. Clarkey, he bought Xbox Game Pass on PC. Went to play Gears of War 4, so he could go through 4 and 5. 4 won't work. It just I don't know what happens. It just loads up and then it just goes to a black screen. Then he installed Forza 4, Horizon 4, and that won't work either. But Gears of War 5 works.
Can't deal with it nowadays. I can't.
And that's what
I like having the PC I've got, because if I want to, I can normally play things. Never ultra, maybe high, or I can play stuff if I need to. But I couldn't. We know Salmon. He's like an enthusiast for like PC gaming, and he's always upgrading his car. I can't.
No, I can't be dealing with that.
No,
that's what I just found. I was optimizing games rather than playing them. Not that I play many these days, but still.
Yeah.
It just became second nature. I'd be too worried about what the frames were doing and weren't even paying attention to the game. So pick up and play for me, but certainly one to look out for, to pick up and play Deliverance. Yeah,
like I said, it's on Game Pass, so it is there. But expect a bit of a. I mean, it's not crashed or anything.
No.
Just when you wander around, you're like, "Cool, where's that tree coming from?" I was walking around. There's a bloke that wears a hat.
Yeah.
He's got like this, like almost like a chef's hat on.
Yeah.
When you're about 30 metres away from him, there's no hat. He's just like a bald fella. And as you get closer, the hat just pops in.
I thought that was quite a bit of like Skyrim's charm. I thought some of that was just so funny with the little hitches that it becomes part of it. So hopefully this.
And there is parts of that. I mean, like I said, nothing so far I've run into is game breaking. No. It's just like these funny graphical bits and pieces. Like there's popping all over. Like you walk into a stable and you're like, where's the fucking horses? You walk a bit further and they'll all pop in. You think, oh, there they are. But I don't know what my Henry's going to be. I might make Henry. I've sort of, because I killed that bloke by accident.
To make him a bit of a rogue.
I think I want him to have honour, but he's a bit of a psycho. Like if he sees an opportunity just to murder someone and rob him, he will.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really register he's done it. 'Cause he's, like I say, he's a bit of a goon.
The man is mentally ill.
Because well, the thing is, I always play these games as the good guy.
Yeah.
And I think for this one, because I'm not, I feel like I might just go full rogue on it and
go
just
fucking absolute berserk. Henry's really fucking lost the plot.
I think it's quite a biggie. This, I don't think it would be something I'm finished with anytime soon.
170 hours minimum.
I don't. I have to drop it now.
Chipping away at that once a week.
Yeah, that would take years, wouldn't it? Bloody hell. Right, I think we'll call it.
Yep, that is all we've done.
That is all we've done. So that is the Game Club.
Game Club coming back
officially
every 6 months.
Every 6 months. We'll try and do it semi-regularly, but all depends.
Well, we've got a big bunch of games that are coming out soon, and I think we do have difference of opinions of what we're going to be buying. So we could be another one sort of mid-November that, there's a Star Wars game coming out. There's Dooms. There's CODs that are being bought. So we might have a little mixed bag that we can all talk about what we've bought.
Yeah, so exactly. And Biff will give us his 40-hour opinion where he binned it on the last mission and walk away from it. He done that of control.
I was just about to say. I was looking at his stats. Did he borrow that off you? Or?
He did. Yeah,
and he binned it. Did he?
He got to. I think there's an hour left.
No. Oh, for fuck's sake. I was actually going through his achievements the other day, and I was going to put in the group, literally from when he had a 360, I was going to count all the games he's played and not completed. There was fucking hundreds, even ones to like on the 360. That's hilarious. I just wanted to list them, but I was like, it's just going to look creepy that I've been going all through his archive. Well, he's going to listen to this.
Just might as well do it now.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. There's fucking hundreds, so it's funny.
Dear me. Right. Well, look, thanks for your time for this particular edition. We'll be back soon, back from sabbatical, maybe another 3 month sabbatical for him. Part-timer people.
I'm back in, mate. This is my, what they called it when fighters have a little, I've got a bit of ring rust, and then this is my
little hiatus.
That's it, a hiatus. I've come back from my little fight. Now I'm starting to loosen up a bit. We'll be back on the weekly podcast. We could do when's that Tokyo Game Show finish? Do a review of that.
It's already done.
Is it done, is it?
I think.
Right.
Well, the trouble is, I've watched Tokyo Game Show for the last few years. I think it finished quite a while ago, but I didn't bother this year. And then I saw there was like an hour and 10-minute feed of Death Stranding. And like you said earlier, I think you skimmed through it, but I couldn't bring myself to.
It was just some other Japanese woman who was just queefing over Kojima. I was expecting old fucking Keeley to get fucking jealous. Go, get off my boyfriend.
Get off him.
But yeah, there's not a single subtitle in fucking at all. It was all in Japanese. I suppose it's the Tokyo Game Show, so we can't have a go. So, oi!
Put it in English, you bastards.
But
we skipped Tokyo Game Show and we skipped Gamescom technically.
Yeah, we did.
Which had a little show as well, didn't it?
We did actually. Yeah.
Opening night live, Keeley, the 2-hour absolute breeze blocker.
There has been in my hiatus. There has been a invitation to a Last of Us press event, isn't there? Coming up some point.
Yes,
but
it may even already be out by the time this drops.
Oh, is it?
So it could be one of those. But we'll capture it if it's of interest. It has to be of interest to people, otherwise people start wanting to get paid for it. And it's like, well, we ain't got any fucking budget, boys. Those Twitch fucking subs have dried up. People keep forgetting.
Yeah, that's me.
Adkins.
I do that now, actually, because I really do forget.
Right, thanks for joining us. We'll be back another time, and maybe some of these games that we've spoken about will get full reviews later on down the line. So keep yourselves at home tuned. Subscribe to the channel or subscribe to the podcast feed on any good podcast outlet. But nothing more for us to say apart from thanks for your time and ta-da.
Boom.